Okay, so what did you think of that last video? That was like, whew, it was a lot. So anyway, I did find my chalk pastels that I had scraped off. So what I did was I sat down with my pastels and I took a knife and I took each pastel, scraped across it, then took the powder and dumped it into each one of these little containers. So each one of these unscrews and each one is a different color from the chalk pastels. Now also, when I was going through my stuff, I found I did keep a rag on hand. It was in my supplies. I have these are makeup wedges, cosmetic wedges. You can actually get these from the Dollar Tree and they are connected together and you just pull them apart. And they look like this. Now, do your supplies get old? Yes. Oh, definitely yes. I had this, and I'm not going to squeeze it or anything because it's been in my box for a while and this whole end is crumbling, but you can use these. This is going in the trash. Sorry, it's not even worth it for me to try to save that. Here's a soft tip. Okay. Here are cotton swab or Q-tips. I guess they're called cotton swab tops. I don't know. Anyway, you can use cotton balls, and I have some of those back there. See, here's one of those wedges that didn't get put in nice, so it's all bent up. This is called a mop brush. It is very soft and fluffy. You could also use a Dollar Tree, which is $1.25 now, blush brush. Just get a big one. What you're going to do is at the end, you're going to fluff everything away instead of brushing it and smearing it with your hand. My favorite by far are these. I labeled each one as a different color group. So yellows would go here, reds and oranges, blues and greens. These are actually from AliExpress. Okay, so it's a knockoff company, yes, I know. But I bought these probably 10, 15 years ago. I don't even remember. It's been a while. Shows you how often I use all this. They did not all come with covers, so I bought some extras and just slid them on, but you don't have to have the covers. And not only that, they're washable. So I'm going to grab the blue one because today we are going to be working with green. I'm going to grab my greens. I'm going to put this right side up, tap all this down because it is very powdery. You want to make sure you do not have a ceiling fan on, okay? And you can mix colors. So if you buy just a basic pastel chalk package that has just a few colors in it, you can mix some of each one together and get new colors. So let me clear this mess. So today, yes, I told you I was going to plan ahead this time, and I did. I am working with this stencil. It's greenery. You can get these. You can get stencils at Walmart and any of your craft stores. This one specific, I don't know. Like I said, on most of these, I do not know. I use some of these for making dots around the outside. So that's why every now and then you see these little dots. So what I have to tell you is clean your stencils after you use them. I did not clean this one, and therefore, if I don't get all these dots off now, they are going to show up in my picture as white spots instead of part of the leaves. Now I'm actually not too concerned about all that, but if I was doing a big project where I would want that clean. I'm going to start with this page. Now, can you do a background before you're finished with the page? Yes. In fact, I would say it's probably easier to. because your chalk pastels, they erase. So if you get into your picture, just erase it off. Not a problem. Am I going to spray this afterwards? No. So don't do as I say, or don't do as I do as I say. So normally you would want to go ahead and seal this when you're finished. Now what I'm going to do, or what I'm doing, is trying to line it up. Do I want the bottom points at the end of the page, or do I want points at the top? I think what I'm going to do is do it just like this. I'm coming in just a little, so when I get over here I'm going to have to scrunch to get it in there, but that's okay. And then I'll stop right here at this end and at the top. So that tells me I need my painter's tape, if I even know where that is at. And I'm not sure. Yes, I do. There it is. Blue painter's tape is another very useful item to have on hand. So what I'm going to do, so that I don't have to hang on to this and be quite as careful, I'm going to line it up again where I want it, and then I'm going to tape off down here at the bottom. Actually, I'm thinking now, do I even want to go down there? But I guess do I want to do that bottom edge or just do around? I think it's not going to look as good if I don't do the bottom edge too. So what I'm going to do is let it go off the top and the bottom and not worry about it. There you go. So plan as you go. That's me. Now, painter's tape will help hold it down, but it's not going to tear up my paper. It's also not going to hold it down real good. So I'm still going to have to kind of have a little bit of carefulness with it. I'm going to take my colors. These are my greens. I'm going to unscrew it over something in case any drips off. Okay, there. And I'm going to use these two greens. Okay, so anytime I'm off camera, actually, I will just stand up and do it right here so that you can see, so I'm not off camera. I'm going to do this out of the way. I'm going to hold this down, and I'm going to dip. Don't know what that is. Okay, dip. And then I'm going to dip in that one. And I'm going to come along and just kind of put some color down. And then I'm going to start rubbing. Just rub. It's okay. And I'm going to pick up some of the dark, put it here, pick up some of the lighter one, put it here. And if I go inside the picture at this point, I'm not too worried about it. You know what? I'm going to grab some of this dark too. I'm not sure what it is, and I shouldn't be opening it over my picture, but I am. Look at that dark. So, what was I even saying? Oh, if I go into my picture, it's going to be okay, because that is a lot of green that I've used on the picture. So, going over it at this point really isn't going to show up much. I'm dipping in and out of different colors, and then just rubbing along. I'll go from color to color. And by skipping around some, it's going to help it to have that molten kind of look instead of looking like one solid color. Now, when you get it to the inside here, you're just going to have to push your book down and do the best you can. And I think what I'm going to do on the inside is just get these and not worry about that row, because it's just not going to flatten open for me. Let's see. There, get a little more of that. Do pastels go bad? Your chalk pastels? I picked up quite a bit that time, so I'm going to come up here. I do not know. I do not have an answer for if your chalk pastels actually go bad. I could have just used blue and come in here and just done a sky. Okay, I chose to go ahead and use this leaf stencil because there's so much greenery on the picture itself. Whoops, a lot of that flipped off. Oh well. And see, that's the thing, that you kind of have to have that attitude when you're doing a lot of your stuff like this, because a lot of times you can't control what's going to happen. I mean, you're just kind of going for it. So you are going to have those uh-oh moments where a piece is not going to be as covered, or a piece may be way covered more than you thought it was going to be. It's okay, you know? It's a picture, and it's a fun time, and you're experimenting, so have fun. But I'll tell you what, this is going to look a lot more interesting and be a lot easier than me trying to sit down and use a pencil and color this entire background. Yeah, so that's one reason I like doing this. And see, there's chalk way up in there, so I probably don't even need to reload as often as I am. I can just push down on this brush, and that chalk is still in there. And again, you can wash these in soapy water, and then just kind of towel the tops dry, and you'll be okay. I'm just doing the once over just to make sure everything's kind of blended good here. And I'm not going to worry about that center section again. Down through the spine. It's just going to be what it is. Okay, now, are you ready? Before I pick this up, because I don't want anything to fly around or flick off or anything like that, I am going to go ahead and put these back together. Now, these are not the best little containers for this, but it's what I already had on hand, so that's why I used them. These are actually jewelry containers from a craft store. So, hopefully that's on good. My hands have stuff on them. You know, my water bottle and my rag. Spritzing my fingertips off camera. Gonna wipe them on the rag. And then we're going to move this all out of the way. And let's reveal. So that took, what, 13 minutes to do the background. Now, this all needs to be wiped off. So we're going to do a start to finish on this. Okay, there's little bits on there. Remember that blush brush or mop or whatever you have? Now's when you want to use it. And I'm still on my craft mat. I am lightly dusting over the entire page. Okay? Don't lay your book back down there, because this craft mat now has all the little stuff on it too. So, now's when I'm going to come in. I'm going to pick up my craft mat. I feel like you need to know start to finish. Okay, I'm going to take this, all the bits have gone to the middle, and I'm going to pour it into the trash. Okay, shook it off in the trash. Take my rag, wipe down my mat, because see, there's still some on there. There's still some there. Then I'm going to take my stencil, and I'm just going to go ahead and wet it. And then I'm going to fold this on the inside because I know it's got some in it. And I'm going to wipe down my stencil. Do you see all that? I did not want to store that back in with my supplies. I didn't want to accidentally get it on something else later. Take off my tape because I don't need that on there anymore. The tape can be reused sometimes, but I find it better just to throw it. Okay, now my craft mat's still wet because of all the holes in the stencil, so dry it down. And yes, this may seem like a hassle, but for me, it's still a lot more fun than coloring all that background. Now, there you go. I get these wash rags from Walmart. You can get a package of white and from time to time bleach them or throw them away, recycle them, get some more. There's our page. Okay? What do you think? Leave me some comments. I want to know what you really think of this. Now, the page is not finished because I didn't finish all this in here. But I like that for a background for this page. I am going to dust it off one more time. Just really get all the extra bits off because I'm not going to seal it. And you can probably see part of it is smearing. I'm okay with that. To me, that gives it kind of a wallpapery effect, which I don't mind in the least. But now, let's give it a test. I think I'm going to be okay. So I'm going to take dry spot. Okay, it's not coming off too much. It did smear some, but I'm okay with that too. I'm going to come along here and just smear the whole thing. Now, I am not going to seal it. I'm just not going to worry about it. I've got most of it here. So, there you go. Now, another page that I'm going to use this technique on is, oh, that was in Rooms of Wonder. Johanna's newest book. This is a book, Magical Jungle. Friend sent me this one. And I did color the outside. And yes, I am going to spray seal that. I need to do a video on how to spray seal stuff. But I thought, okay, what kind of background on this? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing. Should I do that same stencil? I could. What other things could I do? Let's see. I'm thinking I do want that same stencil. Now, what if you don't have the pastels? And I just realized that this is still damp on the back from where I just washed it. Okay, so there's a lesson for you, quick little freebie there. If you use a stencil, let it dry really good before you take off to use it again so that you don't smear like water all over your page. You can also use paint and do a dry brush technique. Okay, y'all want to see dry brushing? Yeah? Okay, let's show you dry brushing. It doesn't take, oh no, because when you dry brush, you cannot erase. And I have not colored this, and I cannot see through well enough to do that. Let's see. What about the gelatos, though? Shall we use gelatos this time? I've got the 2 greens here. And then let's see if there's any other greens in the other brand. Distress Crayon. Let's try that with it. And mix them, why not? Yeah. What else can we use? I was looking to see if any of those other crayons in here were in a color that would work, because you'd think they'd have a green. Okay, we're going to grab this one. I know it says it's blue, but there's another one in here that's blue, so I'm thinking this must be green. So if you were with us on the last video, we're going to take our plastic. In fact, I'm going to use this plastic. This is just the cutting mats from Dollar Tree. So let's try this. I know, right on my page, right? No practicing, we're just going to go for it. So I'm going to put some of this down, and it's not really showing up. Oh, but it is there. Can you see that green? There you go. There's the green. So maybe I should move the book out of the way so that you can see the colors possibly popping up. I know I can hear somebody, try the light. There, did that help? The green is right there, so I'm putting some of this green on. Get that water off. And then I'm going to do some of this green. So these are gelatos and crayon, gel crayons. And then this is Distress Crayon. This is Tim Holtz, so it's should be fairly recent. And then I'm also going to grab another gelato, another color. Okay, so now I've got all those colors on. We are going to grab a clean paper towel. Remember, I do have a roll of paper towels hanging on the wall over there. Okay, now how to get all this on camera at once. I am not going to do the entire page this time. I want hints of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is line this up in the bottom corner where you can see it. Right there. And then here's my crayons. I'm just going to pick up some different ones and rub them on. That's all I'm doing. I'm going to rub some down here. I'm not wanting to get up into the picture, so that's why I'm not worried about getting the entire, you can see that's tearing up the paper towel too, so just keep folding it over. It's okay. So that's why I'm not worried if I don't get the entire leaf in. Not worried about it. So let's see. See there? Just a bit of color down in the bottom of that page. And you can tell that it's like little leaf areas. That will need to be cleaned. So what I'm going to do is turn it upside down and use it up here also. That way, when I go to clean it, I can clean just this corner. Not have to clean the entire thing up. Just decide where you want to put it. I wanted to make sure I had one right in the corner. Okay, hold that down. And again, I could add darker colors. I could do lighter colors. I could use different colors. Now, I can't move a whole lot or I'll mess that up, but I'm just coming over and scribbling some more color on my sheet of plastic. I left all these over here. So what this is showing you is that you can mix your different kinds of crayons, gelatos, etc. And it's okay. It seems like they are playing well together. And for me, that was important. And I want this corner a little darker, just because it's the corner. There we go. Pull that up. All right. Then use the same corner again. I'm going to pop some over here. And see, that's where I've just been adding the color. And I'm just swiping some off. This time I'm going to add some more on here before I get started. And I'm not even putting it in the same spot every time. It's just kind of on here. There, you can kind of see right here on the edge. So I'm just going to pick some up. And I'm going to do my corner first because I've got the darkest on there. Then I'm going to go to another color, let it mix, and just keep picking up colors. You know, I have not really played with gelatos in the past. And I had to text my daughter the other night and say, okay, I found these in my supplies. What are they? She said, they're gelatos, wet or dry. And I said, okay. I don't really plan on taking my book out anywhere where it's going to get wet. So I'm not really worried about it. But I've got a background. Now, don't scrape it with your hand. I've got the same brush as before, but I'm just getting the extra bits off there. Okay? Now, can you see? It's not perfect, but it's covering. I'm going to turn this page upside down so I can get to it. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this page, just so that I have the same thing carried over on both pages. So I'm going to pick some more up. You know what? That's a lot of area. So I'm going to put down more gelato and crayon and all the fun things before I get started again. Y'all, I'm really liking these. This is different, but it's fun. And it's so much quicker than coloring a background. Okay. Look at that. Just going, moving right along. I'm moving into where I don't see any of the pencil. Tearing up the paper towel, fold it over again. Fold it over and keep going. If I can do this standing up under a camera for y'all, imagine how much easier you're going to be able to do it if you're just sitting at a table or something and playing around. I want some more on there. I feel like I ran out of color too soon on that. So just some more of it. Get some more down in here. Really the hardest thing is hanging onto your stencil. Because I don't care if this is an all over or not. I just wanted some color in there, so I'm not doing the background. That's all I cared about. So I'm gonna just finish up down here in the bottom corner, and these two pages are going to be finished, and I'll be able to sit down and start coloring them. So, all right, let me know if you're wanting to watch more backgrounds being done. Are you enjoying seeing some different options? And again, the problem with using watercolor is not knowing whether your book is going to stand up to the use of the watercolors. You know, is it going to make your pages ripple? Is it going to go through? So that's the main reason that I'm just not messing with it. Wonder if a makeup sponge would work. Let's try that real quick. Almost out of time. Real quick. oh no, it's gonna crumble worse. So just use your paper towel. All right, I'm gonna finish this one up, and if you're on Coloring Books Keep It Clean on Facebook, you will see a lot of these pages when they get totally finished. Thanks for stopping by.